Paul Pedersen from Nextleaf Solutions. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jay.
I love that oils. It just says it all, doesn't it?
You know what? When everybody was fighting over the pot ticker, we said, these guys are so 2013, and for us, oils kind of encapsulates what we do and what we feel our value proposition as a company is.
And it's funny you said it in that refrain. You're talking about ticker symbols, but actually the industry is moving towards where you are, I think, right? It's more specified operations, do something, do it well, do it the best, do it all the time, and let everybody else do what they do.
You know what? My friend John Prentice, I think, he was someone that kind of coined this phrase a few years ago, and I totally agree with him that it's hard to do everything well, so you kind of pick one or two things and you try to really excel at those things. And that's really, when we started Nextleaf 3 years ago, that was really the vision. And for us, I think being involved with the industry in the early days and seeing companies that struggled to be successful being vertically integrated, I think, showed us or demonstrated that it's really hard to do it all. Starbucks coffee doesn't grow coffee beans and process them and brand them and distribute them and
then open the stores and then pour the coffee and then buy the milk.
And we also like kind of focusing on one part of the supply chain because it also allows us to work with like-minded partners and collaborate with companies that are good at their part of the supply chain, and that's really what we look for.
And you're doing it in unique ways, and I say that because anybody that follows you on social media knows that you've been racking up patents. We've had this conversation before on Business of Cannabis with you about the important part of IP in this sector as everything develops. Talk about what that means to you and the company.
When we started this company, the first thing we did is we vended in intellectual property in from the legacy market out in BC, and that has led to the 10 issued patents that we've received over the last year, and I think it's first and foremost, it's a testament to the 15 years that went into developing that IP in the unregulated market. And when I met Ryan Kohr, our Chief Technical Officer and our co-founder, he was doing things with extraction and purification of cannabinoids that I had never seen before at any of these big producers, and sort of convinced them that, hey, let's bring the lawyers in here, let's
wrap it up.
Let's file, because the reality is where the industry is headed. When the big tobaccos and the big alcohols get into it, these guys can be a little tough to deal with, and we really think that patents are a way for smaller players to kind of protect what they've created and built. And for us, I think it's an important part of our value proposition.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We've been talking a lot about today and over the past week that the industry is reaching maturity, right? Or we're getting to a place where we're seeming more mature, operating more efficiently, operating as real businesses, of course. And part of that is IP protection, and part of that is building operations that make sense, just like every other industry.
Just like
every
other
industry. That's the thing that's funny. It's that cannabis is becoming like other industries, and the professional people like you that are protecting IP, that are doing their job, doing it really well, are the ones that I believe are going to sort of cross this tough time to actually get to the other side.
And I think we always looked at patents and intellectual property as, cannabinoids are, it's a fantastic plant, and it's very unique times in the sense that legalization is a movement that has broken a lot of barriers. But when you look at intellectual property, we say, well, it isn't that different from pharma, from biotech, from life sciences, and intellectual property in tech is very important. So why wouldn't it be important in this industry?
Yeah, it really is. And it's not funny, that's not the right word, but seeing folks like you who have been talking about it for a long time, where this was absolutely part of the game plan and strategy, actually executing on that strategy, it shouldn't come as a relief, but it's good to see.
Appreciate that. We're having fun with it, and really, I think for us, the key thing is every day it's all about pushing the science, pushing innovation, and saying our part of the supply chain is taking biomass and trying to be as efficient as we can in pulling the molecules out of that biomass and purifying them through molecular distillation. And so how do we continue to innovate in ways that will allow our customers and ultimately the end consumer to be able to get a lower cost per molecule?
Yeah.
And we believe that's how we build a great business.
Well, on that note, I believe you're building a great business. I look forward to connect with you in 2020 because it's been fun to connect with you in 2019.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks,
Thank you
Paul.
very much, Jay.
You
Really appreciate it.